Oh, do I see it? Do I see it? Do I see it? Do I get to see it? I think I get to see it. Hello, YouTube! God, it's been a while, hasn't it? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to presume that most of you have seen I've been putting up a few videos on Instagram and TikTok, done a few sort of short form videos recently. I've been trying to get back into videoing again and doing all of this stuff again. We'll see how it works and we'll go from there. I don't even know if this video is going to make it up onto the internet or not. We'll find out after I go home and pull my hair out editing it, but we'll see what happens with it. I am going to try to post some videos up of some description. I think you'll see last time when we put up that, we're not dead post, I had an idea to film and I did try and film a few videos, and I ended up just being a little bit too much of a perfectionist with them, and then because of that we never really did any of them or never finished them, and just ended up with a load of footage that we weren't quite happy with, or in all honesty just don't have the videography skills yet to be able to pull off what I wanted to pull off. So I think instead of that I'm going to try and do some more informal videos like this where I'm just going to talk and go from there. Once I've maybe got a few of these under my belt and I get into the routine of editing and talking on camera again and doing all of that stuff, then maybe have a look and see about doing some tutorial videos and stuff like that. I sort of stuck up a post on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and there was a couple of suggestions that people commented on, one being sort of a motorway riding and filtering, someone else suggesting sort of cornering, some of the more high speed stuff, seeing how country road stuff works. So obviously talking about riding whilst I'm riding is kind of what I do for the job, so shouldn't be too hard for me to do them. But on the other hand, with me being a professional instructor, I need to make sure that what I'm putting out is also obviously professional. So bear with me on that one. I'd rather put up less videos less often but put up good high quality stuff, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll maybe fill out the gaps every so often with a ramble like what this is on my way home, or see what we're doing now and go from there. So what have we been up to, and what's happened since, what was it, 3 years ago we put up our last video saying that we were going to start YouTube again. So a couple of new things. We've got a few new toys. Probably see that I am on a Yamaha. I am not on a Ducati. We still have Ducatis in our fleet and I still love them, but we are splitting our fleet in half now. So we've got a couple of these brand new Yamaha MT-07s. These are going to be getting used in our fleet once we get them ran in, hence there's no L plates on them, there's nothing like that yet. We're still running them in for the first service before we're going to let students loose on them. We still have our Ducati Scramblers as well. I have a Multistrada as well, which obviously I'm not riding because we need to put the miles on this. On top of that, the shop's been going well. Sort of 3 years ago we were doing the whole, we've just opened our shop and things are going well, and come see what we're doing. We're now organising monthly events in our shop. Sort of coffee and donut days have been going really well. We've had good turnout for that, it's a good crack. Lessons are still ballistic. It's not slowing down since COVID. It's still as busy as ever, which is always a good thing. In terms of what we're going to be doing, we're looking to be more active on social media. So if you've not followed us on Instagram, most of the content I'm going to be putting up now is going to be up there. I think for a lot of short form stuff as well, especially with the 360 cameras. Notice the plural there in cameras. We're going to be doing a lot more short form stuff using them, and just having some fun with them. So I've put up 4 or 5 videos in the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, just using that and put some short form stuff out. I generally tend to find that the short form stuff is probably easier for me to do because A, it's less editing, and B, I'm not having to worry about what I'm talking about and that sort of idea. It just lets me put up a couple of snapshots of where I'm going, what I'm doing on lessons, and that sort of idea, which is quite nice. Going on from there though, if you've not followed me on Instagram, please do. On YouTube, we're going to be posting quite seldomly. I'm going to say I'm going to be quite realistic with this. Even doing this video today, it's actually took a lot of effort for me to obviously set up the cameras and all that stuff. I do quite fancy doing a review video on one of these bikes. These are the 2025 model MT-07, so they're new out this year. I want to do a proper review video on these and let everyone know what I think about them. Considering I've already bought two, I'll probably give you a little bit of a spoiler answer what I think about. But going from there, I want to talk to them more about what they would be like as a first bike compared to what they're like as a training bike, because I think those two things are slightly different. What I would look for in a training bike isn't necessarily what someone else is going to be looking for out of a first bike, so that could be quite an interesting wee video as well. I'm going to be doing, as I said, some tutorial videos. I'm going to try and do some short form tutorial videos as well, so again, keep out on Instagram for that. And going to see if I can do some stuff, you know, even if it's just like a tip a week, you know, say Top Tips Tuesday or something like that, where every Tuesday I'll fling up a quick 15-20 second video giving you what I think my top tip of the week is. One of the videos that I kind of been experimenting on with that is the one where I film myself going around the clock tower roundabout, the customs roundabout in Stirling, just showing how I was doing my lane changes and stuff like that. Obviously I filmed that just with the one camera, but going forward I think doing little snippets like that on multiple cameras with multiple angles, which hopefully Magic Editing cameras, or Magic Editing Callum even, is going to try and flip through the 3 cameras we've got so you can see. Obviously it's raining at the moment, which isn't the best in terms of raindrops on lenses and stuff like that, but we'll go from there. May as well talk about the equipment that I'm using now and what I'm doing in terms of filming. Before I was using 2 cameras. I had my GoPro and my Sena 50C that I was using. So back then what I was doing was I was recording video on both and then taking the audio from the 50C and overlaying it onto the video of the GoPro, because the GoPro had better image quality, but the 50C obviously could capture what I was saying and what I was doing. Now I've gone for way more of a YouTuber setup compared to what I had. So on the front of my bike, mounted onto my handlebars, I've got my GoPro Hero Max, so little 360 camera on the front, so you can actually see me and I can have a proper conversation with you whilst I'm riding the bike. You'll see on my chin, I've got an Insta Ace Pro 2. I'm going to be using that as my chin guard mount. That's also the camera that's linked up to an inline microphone that I've got in my helmet, so I'm getting direct audio from that now. Fingers crossed it's going to be a lot better quality than what it was when I was trying to overlay stuff from the Sena onto the GoPro. I had a little test of it when I was in the shop there just before I left. Legitimately the first time that I've actually recorded with everything on, and it seems to be working well, or it certainly sounded like it was good quality. Hopefully that'll be true when I get back home and start having a look at stuff on the laptop when I'm editing it. And then on the back we've got my new favourite toy, which is the Insta360 X5. Some of the shots that I've taken with that so far have been hilarious. Even stuff like I did a little family day out in Stirling Castle last week, and I was doing like bullet time shots with it on top of the castle walls and stuff like that. I had an absolute hoot using it. I really enjoy using it, and some of the stuff that you can do with it is insane. I'm hoping that I've set up the angles right on this bike, because obviously I've just flung all my mounts on and see how it comes out. I always use this road for filming on YouTube. This is exactly the same road that I used with we're not dead yet thing, except I was going up the way. I think I was going to work. This time I'm going away from work. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, the X5's been an absolute hoot to use. Some of the viewing angles and stuff that you can get with that have been really cool. One of the things that tripped us up in the past, one of the main things that I really wanted to do was Module 1 tutorial videos. And when I say tutorial videos, I mean tutorial videos, as in break everything down. This is the exercise, and not just showing what the exercise is, but actually going through how to do the exercise in terms of use clutch control. Well, what is clutch control? Well, go to this video and we'll explain clutch control to you. So I kind of have this idea in my head that I want to make almost like an online instruction manual that someone can use, not in replacement of lessons, but to supplement lessons, so that if I'm talking about something like clutch control or how the revs and clutch work whilst you're doing that, you'll already have an idea of what we're doing before you practice it, which should hopefully make you guys, or students anyway, safer when they first start out, because you'll have that basic understanding, but at the same point it'll help just grasp everything a bit quicker, because we don't have to talk about theory as much, because hopefully you should already have a grasp of what you're doing with it. So I've had that idea that I want to obviously go through the exercises, because I think that's obviously important to know what's going to happen on tests and stuff like that. But at the same point, I really want to go into the detail of technique and how technique works, and just probably even more detail than what I would go into on a lesson, because again, on a lesson I'm very conscious that, you know, people are paying by the hour, so you don't want to be talking about how the revs and the clutch will react and enact with each other for 20 minutes of an hour session. But I think it'd be quite a cool thing to do. Let me know down in the comments if you do think that is a good idea. Like I said, it will be very slow to come, because I still need to obviously spend time doing lessons, as well as being a dad and being a husband as well. Albeit a terrible husband at some points, but still a husband, as well as running the business and doing all that sort of stuff as well. So there will be a delay as such for videos. I wouldn't expect, to be honest, I'd be chuffed if I managed to get a video out once per month. Maybe over the winter it'll tally up if lessons do quieten down. But again, the biggest problem that I have is that in the winter, when lessons quieten down, also the weather gets dark and grey, or even icy and snowy, and I don't particularly want to go out and film when it's like that either. So it's kind of this catch-22 situation where the best time for me to film would be obviously in the summer when it's bright and colourful and that sort of idea, but it's also the time I'm more busy with lessons. So it's kind of a catch-22. We'll see how it works, and we'll go from there. But manana, we'll work it somehow. Going on from there, there's not that much else that's happened, so I'll sign off here and I'll say goodbye, I suppose. Bye, YouTube. Unless I think of anything else interesting to say, but we'll go from there.